for this baby turban, I am using size 5 circular needles. I'm going to be doing the magic loop method. If you want to do the double pointed needle or have small enough cables to do it that way, then great. Mine isn't small enough. It's still kind of tight when I do it. I also use worsted weight yarn. This was a gift and it didn't have the label on it, so I don't know. But it's like a coral color. Okay, so I'm going to do like a long tail slip knot. We just cross our yarn and then we grab the yarn that's on the bottom. And then we get our needle and we tighten it. And then this is how I hold it. I just spread them apart like this. And then I grab it, go through the middle, tighten it. That's 2. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so do this 60 times. Okay, now that we've done 60 stitches, we are going to, if you're doing the magic loop method, we have to divide our stitches, okay? So I counted 30, and then I just kind of pulled them apart like this. And then put them on each side. Make sure that they're not twisted. Okay, and this is when you're supposed to join in the round, right? Make sure that if you have double pointed needles or doing it in a circle, you get your marker and then you just start knitting this way. Now with magic loop method, you are going to pull your yarn back like this and then slide your needle off, and then you go through the front to the back. Okay, and then you bring your yarn over just like your regular knitting. We're going to knit this whole round. Okay, so from the front to the back, your yarn's in the back, bring it around counterclockwise. Alright. So knit, knit, knit. Okay, here's my last stitch. And then you flip your needles over. And then you get all these stitches back on this other needle, okay? And so we've only done half of them, right? And so we pull our yarn in the back, and then we pull those stitches off. And then we start knitting this side. Okay, pretty easy, yeah? Okay, knit all the way to the end of the row. Alright, we're going to knit in the round. So we're going to knit 1, purl 1 round, knit 1 round, purl 1 round. So we're going to do another knit. Make sure your yarn was in the back. Okay. And then you know that you've done a full circle if you're doing the magic loop method when your tail is in the back over here. If it's on this side, then you know, oops, I need to keep going to finish my whole round. Okay, now when we purl, instead of bringing our yarn in the back, we keep it down. And we take our needles off, and we go from the back to the front. That's how we purl. And then we grab our yarn, not our working yarn. Our working yarn is wanting to have some attention. And then we bring our yarn over counterclockwise. Alright. And then we purl this whole round. So after we do this knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl rounds, you're going to knit for 7 rounds. Then after that you repeat the knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. And then you knit again for 7 more rounds. Now, I don't want to make things more confusing, but I thought I'd let you know I've done this one and these are the same size, and I did this exact same way that the pattern tells you to, but with this one, instead of knitting 7, I knitted 5, and I think that it'll look better because this one just seems really tall. So I thought I'd let you guys know that. So it's quite easy. This can be for a beginner, yay! But it's so cute. Anyways, okay, so after this, I'm going to, you can follow along with the written pattern, okay? Make sure that you're using the written pattern because this is all I'm going to show you. I showed you how to knit and I showed you how to purl. Just follow along with the written pattern and you will know what to do. And the next thing I will show you is how to make the little turban part to wrap around the yarn. Alright? Okay, have fun with it. So I've gotten this far and now I'm supposed to make the loop to twist, to make the turban part, twist the yarn around it 10 times. Now if you're doing this for a boy, I wouldn't do that and I would just keep going with the pattern because it will look so cute for a boy. So this can be for boy and girl. But now, I don't know if there's an easier way to do this. My pregnancy brain can't wrap around another way. So this is what I'm going to do. I just knitted my first 30 stitches, and then I just grab my yarn and I'm going to go, so I'm going to kind of make it scrunch like that. Then I'm going to put my yarn around it and it's going to go under. And I'm going to have to bring my whole skein. Right? Okay. And so that's what I do when I bring it all the way back up. And then you can make it as tight as you want. If you want it small, then keep tightening it. Down and back up. I'm sure there's some of you guys laughing at me because there's probably a lot easier way than this one. Okay, so wrap around 10 times. And that is how you wrap around 3 times. Okay, so do it 7 more times. Okay, and then we hold that tight so it doesn't get loose while I put my stitches back on my needle, and then we just knit the next one. And then knit the last 30 stitches. Okay, for the next row, you knit until you get to the stitch before you did the knot. You're going to knit these two together, so I'm going to slide the stitch over. And I'm going to knit them together. Okay. And then you're going to do one of these one more time. And then I will show you how to do the decrease rounds. Okay, so for your first decrease round, you are going to knit 3. And then you knit 2 together. You do that through the whole round. Knit 3, knit 2 together. And then for our next decrease, you knit 2, and then you knit 2 together. Because we have to decrease evenly for 12 stitches. Okay? For our last decrease row, we knit 1, and then we knit 2 together. All the way to the end of the round. Okay, and I just cut my yarn, and then I put a needle through it. And then I'm just going to start taking the stitches off of the needles. Okay, so they're all on this yarn, and I just pull it. And then you tie a knot. Woo. And then you put your yarn through the hole. Make sure that it's tightened before you tie a knot. Really well. Okay? And then you go through and you just weave your ends by going back and forth. And then you go through like that. And cut it, and there you have it.